Hare Krishna, my name is Radhanand Das, and for 2020-21 academic year, the Vedic School at VCC, we are introducing a class on Vedic Astronomy. This is for all middle school and high school students. So I just want to take some time to talk a little bit about what this course would entail, um, and give some idea on next steps in regard to timings, fees, registrations, and other details. So what's the motivation for this course? I've been teaching at the VCC for last 2 years, and my students, after the year was about to end, they had expressed this interest to learn about Vedic astronomy, and that's the prime motivation. Initially, we actually wanted to teach this course last year along with social sciences, but with social science, we were able to consume the entire year. So luckily, now we have an entire year to focus on Vedic astronomy. So that's what we'll be doing in this academic year. The other motivation for this course is generally there's a lack of any formal education in the basics of Vedic astronomy. Recently, I was talking with a colleague of mine, and his son was planning to do a presentation on Mayan calendar for his school project, and he expressed that well, he does not know much about the Vedic calendar or the Vedic astronomy and how it works, and all of the details. So that was a good opportunity for him to present his culture and relate more to his identity, but he just did not have the means to be able to do that. So basically, there's a lack of opportunities to learn more about it. So with this course, I'm hoping to meet that need which is lacking right now. So the objective of this course, basically what the students will be able to achieve at the end of the course, is that they will learn to observe luminaries, constellations, orbits, how the orbits change throughout the year, conjunctions. We'll be using basically tools and simulations to understand all these concepts. At the end of the course, students will be able to understand and explain different principles and terminologies of Vedic calendar, how they work. They won't learn how to calculate it, but they will learn the underlying principles based on which those calculation happens. Same thing, they will have a little bit introduction of Vedic astrology as well. And again, they won't learn how to read a chart or things like that, but what are the basic elements in a Vedic chart? What are the principles underlying those calculations? And they, if once they grow up, if they're approaching a Vedic astrologer, they will be able to hold a conversation and understand the terminologies and different elements of it. In regard to the mode of presentation, this year the Vedic Cultural Center has invested in an online learning platform. It's called the Zenlar. So we'll be using this platform to create a lot of content, and we'll be sharing all the material to the students through that platform, online learning platform. Of course, the sessions would be again online due to the pandemic situation. We'll be using the Microsoft Teams. The classes would be on Sundays from 6 to 7 p.m. We'll follow the academic year from September through June. The very first class will be on September 20th. We'll be recording the sessions and they will be posted on YouTube. The link would be shared after each session. And for this particular class, I'll be using simulator to basically simulate different motions of planets, constellations. You can change settings in terms of the date, time, location, things like that. So SkyGuide, it's an app. It's available on iOS, and we'll be using that. I'll be screencasting my phone during the online sessions. You will be able to see the app on the screen. and then I'll teach how to use the app, how to run different simulations. Here's a screenshot that you see from the SkyGuide app, and it's pretty cool how it provides different information. So that's in regard to the mode of presentation. Course outline. Our academic year typically consists of about 30 sessions, and this is a approximate outline of what I plan to cover. I don't want to go into each and every item at this point in time, but in general, to give some idea what would cover, like things like what's the difference between modern astronomy and the Vedic astronomy. What are the difference between concepts like planets and grahas? There are different kind of zodiacs also, like Sidereal, which is what the Vedic system uses, versus tropical, which is what Western astronomy uses. We'll go into concepts like retrograde motion, again, comparative study of Vedic understanding of these motions versus the contemporary mainstream understanding. We'll go into the motion of luminaries, their periodicity, what is kala-cakra, which is known as ecliptic in modern astronomy. We'll understand what lunar nodes are, which is Rahu, Ketu in the Vedic parlance. Difference between atomic time, solar time, how a tithi is calculated, how a muhurta is calculated, just the principles, not the actual calculations. And just like in the Gregorian calendar, we have leap year. In the Vedic calendar, we have leap month to make sure the lunar calendar does not go out of sync with the solar calendar. So we'll see how that is calculated. We'll also observe the shift in the orbits of the ecliptic, how it shifts throughout the year according to seasons. We'll look at the notation of the axis of equinoxes, the 6 seasons, and then there is introduction to Jyotish or Vedic astrology. What are the nature of different planets, constellations, nakshatras, houses, conjunctions. What are the different kind of elements of astrological chart, and just underlying principles in terms of how time is a cause of change, causality of events, and some other details. So this is brief outline of what the course would look like. In terms of registration is open. You can go to vcc.newzenlar.com. That's a link here. And then once you can directly type in the URL, go to VCC's website, and then there's a link for Sunday school. You could follow that. Once you do that, you can go to, let me see, I'll try to open the browser over here. Just give me a moment. Let me see. Yeah, here's the, so if you go to vcc.newzenlar.com, and then there are all the courses listed over here. You just need to scroll down to Vedic School, and then you can go to Kapila class. So it says 7th grade onwards, so that's basically all middle and high school students. The picture over here says 7th and 8th grade. Ignore that, it's not just 7th and 8th grade. Any middle school and high school student can enroll for this. You click on enroll, and then it should bring you to the registration page. And then you can provide all the details. And then there's a $50 fee for the whole year. It's a nominal fee, which goes towards our cost associated with the new Zenlar online learning platform and other materials that you would be receiving it. Okay, so that's as far as the information about the course is concerned. And if you have further questions, you can feel free to reach out to me or any other coordinators at the Vedic School. If you want to learn more about the app that we would be using it, you can go to Google. You can download the simulator and be ready. So I it's called SkyGuide app, and then it's available also on, it's not just iOS, it's also available on Android. Yeah, it's produced by the Fifth Star Labs, and there are some videos you can learn. It has AR functionality, so there's augmented reality. Actually, if you take the phone and point towards the sky, it will show you all the constellations or planets which are at that particular angle, as if you might not be able to see it if the planets or constellations directly, especially if it's cloudy or even during daytime you cannot see. But as soon as you point the phone, it will also show you what the sky looks like in that direction. And it's pretty cool features. You can run simulations, so you could change the location or the date and time, and it will show you at this location, at this date or time, what does sky look like. And then beyond that, you can use this simulator to, if you want to see how the motion is occurring, you could run a simulation at a 10x speed, or say 10 days per hour or per second, the sky would change. So it's as if you're running the sky at a motion through the sky at a higher speed. So instead of the typical 24 hours it takes for all the luminaries to go around, you could simulate that within a minute, for instance, right? So you could fast forward or slow down the speed. You could go also in a reverse mode. And so in that sense, it allows us to be in our comfort of our home and then simulate how exactly the sky looks and how the motions of the planets occurs. So having said that, let me see if I can find a video. They do have some videos about the app itself. Yeah, here's one. So yeah, you download the app, you could explore more, learn more about the app. But as we go through the course, we'll be teaching also how to use the application. So having said that, hope it provides you all the information that you are looking for, and I look forward to seeing you all at Vedic School starting on September 20th. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.